Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abiola. In today's tutorial, we will be learning how to draft a basic long sleeve pattern and how to draft a basic short sleeve pattern. In addition to that, I would also teach you how to cut it out on your fabric, stitch it, iron it, hem it, and attach it to a dress. If you haven't watched the basic bodice tutorial, I will have it linked in the description box as well as in the comment section, so do check it out. The first step is to bring out your fresh piece of pattern paper and fold it into two or fold it in half. The next step is to come down from the top of the paper by 1 inch, and that will serve as my starting line. I am going to mark that 1 inch at several points to enable me get a straight line, after which I'll go in with my ruler to connect the points to form a straight line. I am going to label that line SH, which means sleeve head. The next step is to mark out our shoulder to elbow and our shoulder to wrist, and I am going to show you how to take that measurement. In order to take the measurement needed for your sleeve, the first step is to place your hands on your waist or place your hands akimbo. I have gone ahead to show you how the akimbo pose looks like. So after placing your hands akimbo, the next step is to bring out your tape rule and then measure from your shoulder to your elbow, where your elbow shoots out. Okay, then you would also measure from your shoulder to your wrist. That is the bone on the wrist. Okay, this measurement is not so easy to take by yourself. You would have to ask someone to help you take this measurement. So just take the measurement from your shoulder to your elbow and from your shoulder to your wrist, and that's it. My shoulder to elbow is 13 inches and my shoulder to wrist is 24 inches. The next step is to mark my shoulder to elbow, which is 13 inches. I'm going to mark that at several points and then proceed to connect the point with my ruler. I am going to label that line elbow. After that, I would proceed to mark my shoulder to wrist, which is 24 inches. I would also mark that at several points just to enable me get a straight line, after which I'll go in with my ruler to connect the point into a straight line, and I would label that line wrist. The next step is the calculation of the cap width and the cap height. In order to calculate your cap width, you would have to divide your bust circumference by 6 plus 1.5 inches. And this is how to take your bust circumference measurement. Place your tape round the fullest part of your bust and measure. Ensure to place one finger underneath the tape. Also move the tape around just as shown. Placing a finger underneath the tape and moving the tape around is to ensure that the measurement you get is not too tight. Proceed to note your measurement. Mine is 39 inches. Now, you would go ahead to input the bust circumference you just measured into this calculation. Like I said, mine is 39 inches. So 39 divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. 39 divided by 6 gives me 6.5 inches, then plus 1.5 inches. If you add that together, it gives me 8 inches. So 8 inches is my cap width. The next thing we have to calculate is the cap height. And in order to do that, I would have to divide my bust circumference by 12 plus 1 inch. My bust circumference is 39. 39 divided by 12 plus 1 inch. So 39 divided by 12 is 3.25. If you add 3.25 to 1 inch, that would give you 4.25. Okay, so 4.25 is my cap height. So I am going to go ahead to write out my cap width and my cap height so that I do not make any mistakes. Okay, so my cap width is 8 inches and my cap height is 4.25 inches. The next step is to mark out your cap height from the starting line, and like I said, mine is 4.25 inches. I'll mark that at several points, connect with my ruler and label that point CH. After which, I would go ahead to mark out my cap width, which is 8 inches, and I would also label that line CW, okay? So that is the cap height and this is the cap width. The next step is to bring in your ruler and connect a straight line from the sleeve head to the cap width. After connecting the straight line, just as shown, the next step will be to take the midpoint of this line. What I have there is 9 inches, so the midpoint is 4.5 inches, which I marked. Okay, now on that line you are going to go in by 0.25 and also go out by 0.25. So I went in by 0.25 and I also went out by 0.25 on that line, okay? The next step is to form our front armhole, also called the front arm's eye, and we're going to connect 3 points together. This first point to this point and then to this point. So I am going to bring in my French curve and connect from this point to this point just as shown, and finally complete the curve just like I explained. I'll proceed to label this curve the front. That is our front arm's eye or our front armhole curve. In order to form the back armhole curve or the back arm's eye, I am going to be using a different color of marker. I'm going to be using red. I'm going to connect from this point to this point and finally complete the curve by connecting from this point to this point, and I would label this curve back. The next step is to take your elbow circumference measurement. Some persons prefer to take theirs this way, but I prefer to place my hands this way or place it akimbo just like I explained before to take that measurement so that when you raise up your hand it's not too tight, okay? My own elbow circumference is 12 inches. I am going to divide that 12 inches by 2, which gives me 6 inches. So I'm going to mark 6 inches on my elbow line. The next step is to measure your wrist circumference. One important tip to note at this point is to try to pull the tape off your hand. This will ensure that your measurement is not too tight so that you can pass your hands in and out of your clothes freely. My own wrist circumference is 9.5. I am going to divide that 9.5 by 2. 9.5 divided by 2 gives me 4.75. I am going to mark that 4.75 on my wrist. The next step is to connect the point. If you have fat arms or you have Christian mother arms, use a ruler to connect from this point to the elbow. But if you have slimmer arms, use your curve to connect from this point to the elbow just as shown. When you use a ruler, it gives you extra space for your arm to sit in. Okay, as you can see, there's extra space when you use a ruler. The next step is to connect from your elbow to the wrist just as shown, and that forms your sleeve. So we're going to go ahead now to cut it out, and you have to be careful at this point because our front armhole curve is different from the back armhole curve. Before I go ahead to cut it out, I am going to label this the basic long sleeve pattern. When cutting out, I am going to cut out the back arm's eye or the back armhole curve first, after which I'll proceed to cut out the elbow area and the wrist area. Then I am going to go ahead to open up the pattern paper this way. I'm going to label the other side of the pattern paper my back armhole. I'll just write back basically. Then I am going to bring in my scissors to trim off the back from the front so that what we have at the front will just be the front armhole. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And there you have it, our basic long sleeve pattern. Let us go ahead to quickly draft out our basic short sleeve pattern. And just like we did for the basic long sleeve pattern, get a fresh piece of pattern paper and fold it into two. Proceed to mark out your starting line by coming down from the top of the paper by 1 inch. Then go in with your ruler to connect the points to form a straight line. Remember the cap height calculation and the cap width calculation we did before. Remember my cap width is 8 inches and my cap height is 4.25. From the starting line, I'm going to go ahead to mark out my cap height, which is 4.25. I'm going to mark that at several points as usual, then go in with my ruler to connect the points into a straight line. Then I'll proceed to label the cap height as CH. Next, I'll proceed to mark out the cap width, which is 8 inches. Then I would go in with my ruler and connect from the sleeve head to the cap width, okay, just as shown. The next step is to measure what you have on that line and locate the midpoint. What I have there is 9 inches, so the midpoint is going to be 4.5, which I marked. Just like we did for the long sleeve pattern, on that midpoint line, I'm going to go in by 0.25. And I am going to also come out by 0.25 just as shown. Just like we did for the long sleeve pattern, I'll proceed to connect the points using my French curve. I am going to connect from the sleeve head to this point just as shown, and I am going to finish the curve by connecting from that point to the end, and that is your front armhole or your front arm's eye. I'm going to label that curve front, okay? The next one we'll connect is from the sleeve head to this point. Then we're going to go ahead to finish the curve just as shown, and I'm going to label that part back. And from the color of the marker, you can tell the difference between the front and the back. In order to complete your short sleeve pattern, the next thing you would need to mark is your sleeve length. I want mine to be 9 inches. You could do 10, you could do 11, or just take that measurement and know where you want your sleeve to stop. So I marked that 9 inches at several points, and I'll connect the points to form a straight line. At that your sleeve length point, or where you want your sleeve to stop, go ahead to take the circumference measurement of that place, or the round measurement of that point. Mine is 13 inches. 13 divided by 2 gives me 6.5, which I'll proceed to mark on the sleeve length line, and I'll proceed to connect the point, and that is your short sleeve pattern. To avoid misunderstanding, I'll label the cap width line, and I'll also label the sleeve length line. Okay, this is just to avoid confusion. Just like we did for the long sleeve pattern, I'm going to go ahead to cut out the back armhole first, which is the one with the red marker. After which, I'll finish cutting out the sleeve. Then I'm going to open up the sleeve pattern just as shown, and I would label the other side back. Then, just like we did for the long sleeve pattern, I'm going to trim off the back from the front, okay, by cutting through the green marker, which signifies the front armhole or the front arm's eye. And yes, there you have it. This is our short sleeve pattern, our basic short sleeve pattern. Now, let us go ahead to cut out our long sleeve pattern on the fabric, okay? Place a small piece of fabric on fold on the table, because we'll be cutting both the left hand side and the right hand side of our sleeve. Okay, after placing it on fold, place your pattern paper on top of it just as shown, and the next step is to pin it down, after which we'll go ahead to add the necessary allowance round it. I will start by adding half an inch allowance at the top, so I'll add that half an inch round the top or round the sleeve head. Okay, ensure to follow the exact curve round the sleeve head. Okay, after adding my half an inch allowance round the sleeve head, the next step is to add my 1 inch allowance on the sides. Okay, I'm going to add that, and I'm also going to go ahead to use my ruler and my curve to connect the point where necessary. Okay, I will also move over to the second side and add my 1 inch allowance there as well, and connect with my curve and my ruler where necessary. After adding allowance to the sides, the next step is to add my 1 inch hemming allowance, and I would like you to pay rapt attention. Okay, as usual, I'll go ahead to mark 1 inch at several points, then go in with my ruler to connect the point into a straight line. Okay, then I would also connect the side. Now here is what I really want you to pay attention to. When cutting out your sleeves, you cannot cut it out this way. You can't cut out the edge this straight. Okay, you would have to add some inches by the side. What I like to do is to add 0.5 by the side, so I'll add at the other side as well, and I will connect with my ruler. You'll see the importance soon. Then I'll use my ruler to connect the point just as shown. Then I would proceed to cut out. Don't worry, you'll see the relevance of what we just did as we move along. Okay, so I'm going to proceed now to cut out my sleeve just as shown. Now over to the reason why we added that half inch. Actually, we do not need up to half inch, but I added that half inch because we can always trim off the excess. Okay, so what you do now is to flip your sleeve to the wrong side and then fold as if you are hemming. You will notice that when we hem our sleeve, the sides are slant and not straight. So we are trying to account for that slant. If you leave it straight, when you hem, the sleeve will not go round, and that will give you like finishing problems. So to avoid that, that is why I add that half an inch. Then I go ahead to fold the hem and trim. Okay, so at this point now, we're going to go ahead to trim off the excess on the side, but what you will notice is we still have it slant and not straight. Okay, so take a look at what we have on the sides. You would notice that it is not straight, it is a little slant. So when we hem, everything is going to fall in place, but when you leave it straight like that, you'll have fitting problems and you would have finishing problems. Okay, at this point, before you take out your patterns, it is important to note your front and your back armhole. They look very alike, and to avoid mixing them up, what I do is just to use my chalk to mark out my front. You can, identify it anyhow you want. I'm just going to use my chalk to identify the front. That's all I would do. You can decide to notch the front or notch the back. Whatever works for you, please just do it, okay? Next, I'll fold it in half and mark out my 1 inch allowance from beginning to the end. Then I would pin, head over to my sewing machine and stitch. I would also carry out the same steps for the second sleeve, but I will not be showing that, okay? At this point, I have gone ahead to stitch the left and the right sleeve using the 1 inch allowance I added. The next step is to iron. I am going to open up the seams of my sleeve and I am going to press it open, okay? I'm going to iron my sleeve thoroughly, after which I would proceed to hem. If you remember, I added 1 inch allowance as my hemming allowance. So I'm going to go ahead now to mark out that 1 inch allowance, okay? I'll use my ruler to connect the point. Then I'll go ahead to fold towards the wrong side using that 1 inch allowance. I'll proceed to press it down so that it looks really neat. At this point, you can head over to your sewing machine to stitch it down. But for me, I'm just going to use my hemming gum to just hem it, okay? And it's still going to look very neat. The next step is to attach our sleeves. And what I like to do at first is to ensure that the right sleeve is positioned at the right side and the left sleeve is positioned at the left side, okay? If you remember, I used my chalk to mark out the front of my sleeve or the front armhole. So that marking is what I used to adjust each sleeve to the right side. The next thing I like to do when I want to attach my sleeve is to notch the midpoint of the sleeve. I'm just going to get my scissors and notch the midpoint. This will ensure that we attach our sleeve exactly at the midpoint, okay? One important take home today is that your sleeve doesn't have to match your armhole 100%, and I would explain why, okay? I am not trying to say that your sleeve should be very big, should be bigger than your armhole by a lot of inches. No, just very little. That excess there serves its own purpose. It ensures that you are able to raise your hand. It ensures that your armpit area is not too tight. There's so many reasons why your sleeve should have that little ease, okay? So if you've always had that little ease around your sleeve, it is not a problem. What you just need to do is to spread that ease round the sleeve, okay? It serves its own purpose. So what we're going to do now is to go ahead to pin our sleeve. I'm just going to show you how to get everything done and then stitch it down on your sewing machine, okay? Match the midpoint of your sleeve, which contains the notch, to the midpoint of the shoulder and pin, okay? Note that you would have to pin right sides facing right sides because we'll be stitching on the wrong side. Then flip to the side seam of the sleeve and the side seam of the dress and also pin it down just as shown. At this point, you need to ensure that the seams match, after which I'll go ahead to pin all the other areas of the sleeve just as shown, okay? Then I would flip it to the back and continue pinning, okay? After pinning, you would notice that there is a little excess, very tiny excess. And like I told you, it is not bad. All you have to do is to distribute that excess round that part, okay? It is just as though you are trying to form tiny gathers. You're actually not forming gathers, but you're trying to ease the sleeve into the armhole. The next step is to go ahead to attach both sleeves. Like I said, easing your sleeve into your armhole will ensure that your armpit is not too tight and you can raise your hands freely. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you learned something new, hit the like button and I'll see you in the next one.